Welcome back to Health and Human Rights Strategies YouTube channel. This week we're talking about North Korea. There's a joke in China that the North Koreans have two weapons of mass destruction, nukes and tuberculosis. And not just TB, but multidrug resistant TB, which knows no boundaries or borders and is spread person to person through the air. The country's also experiencing exceptionally high rates of malaria and hepatitis B. On Sunday, the president went to North Korea. The goal is to meet with Kim Jong-un in a diplomatic effort to discuss denuclearization of the country. But the country possesses much more of a global deadly force and significant security concern than just weapons. So despite claims from North Korea's media that the country's developed a cure-all drug, they've eradicated everything from HIV, AIDS, cancer, Ebola, the truth is millions of lives hang in the balance, needing access to basic things like water and food and vaccinations. Without, an estimated 60,000 children will starve, and millions will continue to live with communicable diseases, and the world will continue to fight weapons that are only a part of a much more deadly problem. Hello. Welcome back to Health and Human Rights Strategies YouTube channel. I'm Nicole Fisher, the founder of HHR. This week we're talking about North Korea, but be sure to click subscribe down in the corner so that you get your weekly updates and we can answer your public health questions. Of the 25 million citizens of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or North Korea, more than 40%, 10.5 million people, are considered to be undernourished, and millions more have little food. Thus, humanitarian aid could go a long way in fighting the health decay of North Koreans and the mass human rights violations that occur as a direct order of the Kim family. Aid that could help prevent the spread of infectious, contagious diseases to other countries, like the US. Therefore, it's imperative that biologic threats are on the negotiating table as a means of diplomacy. North Korea has undoubtedly faced many natural and man-made disasters in recent decades, the greatest of which appear to stem from the economic collapse in the 90s and subsequent deterioration of the country and its people. Since that time, there's been a sharp decline in life expectancy, 12 years less than their genetic peers in South Korea. North Koreans are also estimated to be 1 to 3 inches shorter than South Koreans, primarily due to chronic malnutrition and extreme poverty. So the focus of fresh policy discussions with countries like North Korea cannot be limited to nuclear weapons alone. We must also consider the status of the citizens, the culture, and the economy. What happens to North Koreans now will have global implications when they leave their country's borders, and they will. While many health-related organizations have been able to skirt restrictions about entering the country for purposes of health, all signs point to a growing number of destructive diseases and shrinking number of professionals that are able to help, which in turn means a growing body of diseases and human destruction just waiting to spill over the North Korean borders. In fact, multiple sources have confirmed over the years that the political regime is strategically using food and starvation as tactics to control people, and only allowing the United Nations and other visiting personnel to see what they want them to see when they go to the country. However, in early 2018, a defector gave the world some insight into the real status of people in North Korea, including military. A soldier was cared for after crossing into South Korea with multiple bullet wounds. But what doctors found inside the man shocked even the most experienced doctors. Dozens of parasites, and his intestines had roundworms up to a foot long. It's believed that because North Koreans do not have chemical fertilizer, farmers use human excrement, which is infamous for spreading parasites like the ones that were found in the defector's stomach. Through humanitarian exemptions, they've been written into all the sanctions against North Korea to date. But we're still seeing mass exodus, both voluntary departures and expulsion of nonprofits, NGOs, and aid organizations because basic humanitarian action is forbidden. So as the president and Kim Jong-un meet to discuss nuclear disarmament, even if the nuclear weapon discussions go well, the biological situation is likely to grow worse. UN and humanitarian efforts will continue to be scaled back. Multidrug resistant TB and malaria stand to spread rapidly. Conversely, if health diplomacy prevails, or talks are even allowed to advance, sanctions against North Korea could be decreased, and a flood of humanitarian aid and healthcare could enter the country. It'd be a victory for the entire world.